Hey guys, I feel like today I'm kind of ripping off Such's channel. I want to talk about some survival uses of mineral oil. I know he does those videos where he's like 13 survival uses for, whatever. Well, these aren't all survival uses, but this is a really handy thing to have around the house. Have a couple extra bottles of laying around because there's a lot this is good for, and a lot of things that also pertain to survival, homesteading, prepping, and all that. Now, primarily, you're going to find mineral oil at your local pharmacy in the laxative section. Has medicinal uses as a laxative and lubricant, so it is often sold as a pharmaceutical grade mineral oil. There's of course all different kinds of places you can buy it, but I would recommend getting the pharmaceutical grade. That way, you do have that extra use of it as a laxative. So, another thing, mineral oil is baby oil. They are pretty much the same exact thing. The only difference between the two of them is that baby oil has fragrances added. So if you are the kind of person who doesn't like those added fragrances and chemicals, mineral oil and baby oil are completely interchangeable, and any parent knows literally how many uses there are for baby oil when it comes to cradle cap, things like that, moisturizing, just so much that you can use baby oil for. But beyond that, there's even more uses. It just keeps on going, guys. Mineral oil is also one of the very few food-safe rust preventers that you can use on your knives. If you're going to be, for example, having a bushcraft knife or something like that you're going to use to process food, maybe it's high-carbon steel, you really need to look after that steel to make sure it doesn't rust. Mineral oil is a great option because it is something you can ingest. It's not going to hurt you. Yeah, it's petroleum based and yada yada yada, but it's not going to hurt you. Your body does not. It's not toxic to your body. So it is a great option for rust prevention on your knives, especially those you're going to use for cooking. It is fantastic for tools. I've used it on tools many a times. It does a great job over the winter, because I do have a lot of tools, and keeping things from accumulating rust, especially the old vintage stuff, is a battle in itself. So this is really good for putting a thin coating on things like shovels, axes, things like that end up getting put up for the winter. Likewise, this is also very good for cutting boards, wooden cutting boards, things like that you would need to treat, but also want it to be food safe. Which brings us to the next. As a wood preservative, mineral oil is something you use on wood. It does help seal it, protect it, and all that. And once again, it is a food safe item. I know a lot of people say, well, use walnut oil or something like that. This is an option that doesn't involve people dying from allergies. So mineral oil is a pretty good, safe choice for things that, especially people with those nut and tree allergies, for preserving wood. It's 100% going to not kill people. Another great survival use is for preserving eggs. A lot of people don't know this and don't realize it, but this was one of the primary ways people preserved eggs prior to the refrigerator, was using mineral oil. A thin little sheen on them will help protect them because it does kind of create an oxygen barrier. So that is something good to know if you are a homesteader, prepper, survivalist. You have chickens, having some mineral oil on hand is a good thing, because once your fridge goes down, that's a way where you can help keep those eggs in good condition for much, much longer. All right, should we keep going on? Yeah. All right, mineral oil. You can also use it as a lubricant for things like door hinges, anything like that. Being it is a petroleum-based product, it will act in many ways as a lubricant. For metal, it will act as a medium that you can use for sharpening knives. So if you do want to use this with your sharpening stones, you can do that as well. It also has uses in the gardens. This is something you can put in several kind of DIY homemade formulas for getting rid of bugs in the garden. A lot of people, it often involves water, Dawn dish soap, and mineral oil as a good way to get rid of many creatures out there that will be affecting your garden. So guys, this is just a couple. There's tons. Like, you go online and you will literally read tons and tons and tons of uses for this stuff. Just like baby oil, You know, baby oil is a very versatile thing. Same exact thing. People make candles. You can make survival candles. You can make lamps, lanterns, just you name it. It's a petroleum product. So much you can do with it. So many good uses. Medicinal. You know, this is something you can use if you're applying bandages to put under bandages. You know, in that apocalyptic, you know, shit hits the fan world where we don't have access to doctors. If you do get a bad wound, not having your bandage stick into your wound would kind of be nice. So once again, it's something you can put under bandages. It's something you can use to treat wounds. If you're out in freezing weather, this can be used to protect your face. I know, being I've done a lot of winter camping, that I've often used Vaseline to protect my face, to protect from frostbite. Mineral oil is something you can use as well. It will help keep, you know, being another petroleum-based product, it will help keep the wind and the frostbite off of you. So it just goes on and on, guys. This is a good thing to have, good thing to Google, read all the uses, and you know, a jar this big, guys, is a couple of bucks and would last you a long, long time as far as just using it on your knives, to protect your knives and all that. Just regular household stuff. This would probably last years and years. You buy 4 or 5 of these, stick these into a bin somewhere, stick them into a closet, and you have a lifetime supply of something that will be very, very helpful in a long-term situation where we don't have those creature comforts of electricity and all that. So hope you guys enjoyed. I know it's simple, silly, but it's just one of those things that you should have, stock up on, because it does have so many good uses.